Laureana back for another video. So, as you know, I'm doing this little serial killer thing and I'm really enjoying myself. So this week I decided to cover Francisco Antonio Laureana, and he was basically somebody in Argentina. He died really young because he was out there being crazy. There's not really a lot of information about his life, like his upbringing and stuff, so we're just gonna get straight to the crap. And also, on top of trigger warning, definitely some rape stuff going on. So Francisco was born in 1952. Nobody really knows the date that he was born. When he was 22, he was an intern at a Catholic school in Corrientes, and long story short, he ended up fleeing because they ended up finding a nun being hanged from, you know, the lights in the school, which is kind of dark. July of 1974, he moved from Corrientes to San Isidro, Argentina. When he moved to San Isidro, he basically was an artician. He was selling bracelets, necklaces, rings, anything for women, you know, that kind of thing. Around this time, also, it was said that he was married with 3 kids. Some sources say it was just 1 kid. Other people say 3. I'm going with 3 because I saw 3 more. And before he would go to work, he would always tell his wife, you know, don't let the kids outside because there are a lot of degenerates. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I love you, you know. Just giving his father speech type thing going on. But here's the thing. Before he moved to San Isidro, there was not really a lot of crimes as far as like weekly basis. Once he moved there, things started to become a little crazy. So basically almost every Wednesday and Thursday around 6 p.m. a woman or a young girl would be reported missing from the town. And that was really strange because it's like we never really had this much of like a crime thing to where we have to protect our women now. Bodies were usually found in a vacant lot after the crime, and sometimes they were either raped or stabbed or shot with a .32 caliber gun. So the same thing happened to almost all of the bodies that were found. So they automatically knew like something was a little weird about this. Police and forensics expert Osvaldo Raffo basically, you know, saw the crimes and they were like, okay, this is definitely one person. We have to find this one person. One day after Francisco had just finished committing a crime, somebody actually saw him fleeing the scene. Once Francisco saw that there was somebody watching him, you know, flee on the roof or whatever, he actually shot at the guy. However, the guy was not injured and he really missed the guy's body, period. So this man went to the police and he was able to get an identikit made for Francisco and exactly who they were looking for. So at this point, the police are excited. They're like, yeah, well, here's where things get a little spicy. What they noticed was there was a pattern of who the victims were. They were either getting picked up from bus stops or they were women that would, you know, be on the beach sunbathing or, you know, sunbathing somewhere, somebody that's not paying attention to their surroundings. On top of this, when they found the body, some things would be missing from the body reported by the family, such as rings, bracelets, necklaces. Now, if you remember, I said that Francisco sold necklaces, rings, and bracelets. On Thursday, February 27th, 1975, a young girl actually saw Francisco about to walk past her, and she looked at the guy and she told her mom, like that was sitting next to her, she was like, Mom, he looks like the guy on the identikit. And her mom sees the same man and she gets her phone out and she acts as though she's calling her husband, but in actuality she's actually calling the police. So at this point, Francisco doesn't understand what's going on because, like I said, forefront, she's calling her husband. He's not thinking of it. He doesn't even know there's an identikit out for his arrest at this point. How do you not know? Because did they have TV? I think they had TVs. But this is another country. I don't know. I feel like you had TVs to watch that you should. If you killing people like that, you should be a little bit more considerate, sir, because somebody gonna catch your ass. Okay. Actually, Francisco actually walked past the mom and the daughter and he waved and he kept on going about his day. So because the police were called in front of Francisco without him knowing, they were able to get him about 2-3 miles down the road. And at this point, they approach him and, you know, they look at the identikit prior to approaching him. They're like, okay, this is definitely him. We're going to approach him and ask him to come in for interrogation. So at this point, they approach him. They're like, hey, we need you to come in for some interrogation. We believe you are a suspect to a lot of crimes that have been going on in San Isidro. And at this point, girl, he had an attitude and he pulled out his .32 and he starts shooting, right? He done pulled out his gun. He's shooting at the police. Bro, it's a whole shootout going on at this point. So now this man and got shot in the shoulder, but he was able to flee the scene from a shootout originally and hide from the police. So he thinks that he's getting away and he hides in a chicken coop. Unfortunately, you know how country folks be. They have dogs for their farm. And so the dog, like the farm dog, saw him and he bit him, right? So that let everybody know where Francisco was. So at this point, the police hear him scream from getting attacked by the dog. And so they come over there and they are about to like arrest him. But what is Francisco doing? He is still trying to shoot. He is still shooting. He shoots again. And at this point, the police had no other option but to gun him down. And it's just like, that's a little bit intense. You put yourself in that situation. I don't really know how I should feel about this. So after they unfortunately shot and killed Francisco Laureana, they actually went to his home to, you know, do a warrant search because obviously there are things missing from the victims that were murdered by him, right? Murdered and raped. So they go and they check his house or whatever, and long story short, they found all of these people's missing items. His wife, honey, is in denial talking about, and she just couldn't believe that her husband would do such a thing. Like, he's not that kind of man. We have kids together. Things that really don't matter. But this is probably one of the shortest stories I've ever done, and I'm ever going to do, because his story was just straight to the point, and it is what it is. And now, yeah. I don't know. I found this story really interesting because it's like, even though he really is unknown, he could have got away with it had he kept his low profile. But the fact that he was caught, he should have moved like he did after he killed the nun. And he should have kept it pushing. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just this regular thinking civilian, sort of. And that was the story of Francisco Laureana. Thank you, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. If there's anything you want me to cover. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.